everybody, this is Emmett here at the Solar Farm Summit with Iain Ward, speaker extraordinaire. You know, this guy has a presence that just jumps out at you. So I was going through the itinerary, see this guy's face, then I see him in action. I'm like, you know, you have one of those like Charlie Murphy, Rick James moments, like there's the star right there. So
what an introduction.
Right? So how you doing?
I'm doing awesome, man.
So what brought you here?
Growing crops underneath solar panels. What can be sexier than that?
You know, that's a science. That's an art.
It is an art.
So let me put it to you like this. Why aren't more people doing it?
You want an honest answer?
I want an honest answer.
I think on the solar side, it's been too easy to do solar as business as usual.
Amen. Let the church say amen.
I think on the farming side,
yeah,
it's been we don't know that we like solar because we're seeing prime farmland be lost.
Yeah.
And all we're doing is saying, let's put solar on prime farmland and farm it.
Because corporate farms aren't going to do that.
They could.
But they're like ROI, profit.
Yeah.
And it's up to the independent farmer to adapt this, I think.
We're on the cusp. This is the opportunity at hand right now. It's particularly in the climate that we are, with the innovation that's happening at the federal level,
yeah,
and on state levels. Whatever side of the aisle you're on, we're innovating.
Yeah, you know, and I believe with the ITC being rolled back, I think that is an actual method of innovation, because now, you know, when you're living at home with your parents and they tell you we're remodeling the basement, you got to move out, you figure out a way.
Necessity is the mother of invention, as they say. So yes, we are right there. We're on that cusp right here. So yeah. This conference, what brings me here, what energizes me, is seeing all these people that are here aligned in a mission, learning and aligned, saying we can do solar differently and we can farm differently too.
Yeah.
Like farming is not all created equal. We have certain crops that we talk about ethanol, we talk about growing like the soy corn rotation. The breadbasket of America has not been adopting agrivoltaics yet, but there are projects that are on the cusp of saying, yeah, we can do this.
And you have to rotate crops so that your soil maintains its balance too. So you have to, so it's really okay, I'll put it like this. It's really nature, because nature always creates a balance.
It's a perfect imbalance. That's what nature is. And that's what and this is what the most difficult part about getting agrivoltaics to be adopted by solar industry in general is it doesn't fit a perfect box. It's dynamic.
Yeah.
When you want a fixed return,
imbalance, as you were saying,
it's a perfect imbalance. And that's what nature is. And the issue with conventional solar is that you want to put it into a nice pretty box, lock it up and say, this is what we got for the next 20, 30 years, predictable, and we're good to go. Let's talk about awareness.
Let's talk about awareness. What about awareness when it comes to agrivoltaics?
Just aligning people's interests. People are people. Land is land. If we can honor the land and honor the people that are working the land, then we have solar come in and fund some of the land improvements.
Yeah.
As John Langdon says, innovation dollars. Solar saves farms. That's what it does if it's done a particular way.
So, all right, maybe you have some insight into this. Farmers sometimes are on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
Year to year.
Yeah.
How do they adopt solar? Because solar costs money, or agrivoltaics costs money to implement.
Yes. There's not one way. There's not a cookie cutter way.
Okay.
There's a number of ways. If you want to do solar on your farm behind the meter, put on your rooftop, that'll supply the demand that your farm is generating. If you're a dairy farmer, you've got a lot of expenses, fantastic use. Highest return on investment.
Okay.
And farmers should own those.
Okay.
Then you have small scale solar, like under a megawatt, which would be under 5 acres, maybe 2 or 3 acres, ground mounted solar. Maybe that's over your barnyard. That's great. That's probably connected to the grid still.
Okay.
but that can be owned by the farmer. You're still talking significant money, but that's a wonderful thing. And there are smaller developers that are open to doing that. The next step is distributed generation solar, which is more, can be community solar. Now we're talking anywhere, it's a megawatt to 20 megawatts or so.
For community?
For community.
I thought community was, you had smaller community projects.
Well, it's all relative. So it depends on which community you're in. I mean, it depends on which region of the country you're in. So this is what I'm saying. If we honor the land and the people that are working the land, by default, we're regional.
Okay.
Right? So we're not saying one blanket statement. We're saying Northeast is like this, Southwest is like this. How about Arizona has a particular policy? Illinois has a particular policy.
Yeah.
Let's learn those things, adapt to those things, and celebrate those differences.
So what about, so this is US based we're talking about, but when you start thinking about it, do you lend yourself to other countries such as Mexico or Canada? Because they're probably facing some of the same challenges that we are here, right?
We're all in this together. Last time I checked, you eat food, I eat food, I eat food in Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? We all eat food.
Yeah.
We're all concerned about our water.
Yeah.
And food and water, they go together.
That has been one of the eye-opening things that has hit me here is the topic of water, H2O, and how relevant it is. And how, I learned some things about just how wind affects the moisture of the crop, the soil. You think, when you're a city kid like me from Detroit, and you grow up literally next to a lake, you don't think about it. But the rest of the country, it's a real concern.
It's a real concern. It's one of the most dire concerns that our globe faces.
Yeah.
So we can put our heads in the sand, or we can tackle it. Just one of the ways to tackle this is to do two things on the same land. That is dual use. That is agrivoltaics.
Yeah.
It could be pollinator habitat underneath solar panels.
Because you can use agrivoltaics for wells to pump water up.
Well, you can do that. You could use agrivoltaics to sequester. You're sequestering the land for the next 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
If you're talking with farmers and you get out of this a routine, and it's been a routine that grandfather, grandmother, mother did on that land, and you get out of thinking that my worth is the number of bushels that I produce.
Yeah.
If you can deviate from that, because solar triggers a deviation, because all of a sudden, and I'm talking about agrivoltaics.
You're thinking about you're thinking about the macro versus the micro.
Yes, and I'm thinking about how to keep my farm in business.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my land. I don't want to be the farmer that loses the generational land.
Yeah.
Or as a beginning farmer, I'm trying to find land, and I can't because I'm competing with a developer, an AI developer, data centers. You're competing for the same land.
Yes.
Solar, agrivoltaics, if you do both things, there's an income coming into that landowner.
Okay.
There's an income coming into the farmer that's usually a tenant farmer farming that same land. And then you get the crop income. So what if your crop goes down in yield by 20%?
But you're supplying energy that you're probably getting paid for.
Yes.
Or you're getting paid on the lease
payments. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the farmer themselves, let's say the landowner is taken care of from the lease revenue. And the tenant farmer historically has kicked off that land. Please, chain link fence goes around it, and thank you very much. Agrivoltaics flips the script. They say, we're going to allow for an income coming into that farmer to do vegetation management. Vegetation management historically is cutting grass.
Or
what's the difference? Or grazing, cutting that grass with sheep or with cattle.
It's refertilizing.
Exactly, providing more nutrients to that soil. Next step is to grow a crop, right? In Nebraska, they don't have a ton of sheep.
But they got cattle.
They got cattle. So let's graze cattle underneath. There's also corn and soy and wheat and hay. Alfalfa. They all do very well under panels, which are providing partial shade.
Yeah, because the sun will dry out, so they can retain more moisture.
The ground can retain more moisture because the panels are there to provide partial shade to that ground.
And we've had some hot summers, so that's got to stress some of these things out. So now with that partial shading, they can relax a little bit.
Correct. They can relax a little bit. There's some, and this is all being studied. There's academics the institutions that are studying this. I'm talking from a farmer's perspective. I can just say that I can watch that shadow move throughout the day, and I can say that certain crops are doing really well in certain places. That's how we learn. Last time I checked, and I'm pretty certain this is the case, academic institutions did not tell American farmers how to farm.
Okay.
Farmers figured out how to do it. It's called Yankee ingenuity. And academic institutions reinforced practices, maybe tweaked practices, right, as a result of Yankee ingenuity.
Hey, I just wanted to, have a moment with you, and I think we're gonna have some more moments together in the future because there's a lot to go through for the public to know. Because I've been in solar for 15 years, at least 15 years, and I'm just getting into the agrivoltaics, even though it's been in my consciousness, but now there's a real focus because as a trainer, I need to know it all.
And what you need to know as a trainer is just like me as a trainer, we need to know how to relate to people and be flexible.
Yeah.
Dynamic. Going back to what we were saying, Mother Nature is inherently dynamic. Agriculture is dynamic. So let's honor that, not put it into a box, take advantage of the different regions, the different personalities of the people, the farmers, the equipment. That's what it's all about.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. This has been Emmett with the What's Up Solar Podcast at Solar Farm Summit 2025 here in Chicago. Until next time, gooses.